Today on the Cardinal Sports Network, your Lawrence Cardinals will be taking on the Hopewell Valley Bulldogs in boys varsity lacrosse. Starting in goal for the Cardinals will be Kyle Pachalski. And in goal for the Bulldogs, it will be Owen Shehab. Out at center, ready for the face-off, is Jackson Caruso. And it's going to be the Bulldogs coming away with the ball. Bulldogs running down the near side of the field. Pass forward, and now they'll cut around behind the Cardinal goal. Running back out front, shot on goal. That one is deflected. Good stop there by Pachalski. Bulldogs recover the ball. Bulldogs trying to find a way through. Now they'll send it over to the near corner. So run around behind the net. Couldn't get the shot off. He'll take it behind the net again. Now out front, shot on goal is high and wide. Bulldogs ball.
On the other side.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Bulldogs put the ball back into play. Now they'll run it around the center. Loose ball's going to be scooped up by Pachalski, and he'll fire that one up the middle. Cardinals advancing the ball toward the Bulldog goal. Now, Bulldogs coming the other way with the ball. They'll send it into the near corner. Now dropping it back across the center. Pass around behind the net. Bulldogs pass it out front and shot on goal. The first goal of the game. That's going to be Ryan Foret, who finds the back of the net to give the Bulldogs a 1-0 lead.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Jackson Caruso at center for the faceoff. Ball squirts free, and Bulldogs get to it first. Knocked free by Cardinals, but Bulldogs recover. Loose ball on the field. Scooped up by another Bulldog and loose once more. Now Cardinals get a hold of it. I believe that's Gonzalez who came up with it. He'll drop it back. That's picked off by the Bulldogs, who will send it back to midfield. Now Bulldogs advancing towards the Cardinals goal. That one gets away. And it'll go out of bounds. Cardinals ball. Cardinals put the ball back into play. Pass to Pachalski. Pachalski sends it back out. Cardinals tied up in the backfield. Back to Pachalski. He's going to send it forward this time. And it's Nab running up the middle with it. Nab plays it across to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to run it around behind the net. Gonzalez breaks through, shot on goal, and that one is deflected by Shehab. Now Bulldogs advancing the ball down the near side of the field. They'll move it over towards center field. And play it over towards the far side of the field. Now they'll drop it back and reset. Elliott Feynman into the game for the Cardinals. Bulldogs' drive is thwarted by the Cardinal defense. That pass gets away, but is recovered by the Bulldogs. Pass behind the net. Shot deflected by Pacholski. Bulldogs recover the ball. Cardinals take it away. That ball swatted free by the Bulldogs, loose on the field. And Bulldogs come up with it. That pass a little low, bounces out of bounds. It'll be Cardinals ball. Claffey will be putting into play for the Cardinals. Claffey fires it up the far side of the field. Now Gonzalez running it towards Bulldogs' goal. He'll drop it, tried to get it over to McNamara, but that one's picked off by the Bulldogs. Now Bulldogs trying to advance it up the far sideline. Now they'll drop it back to center. Bulldogs advancing it up the middle. Pass back behind the net. Back out front. Shot on goal. And it's the second goal of the game. I believe that was Luke Caldwell who scored that one for the Hopewell Valley Bulldogs.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Bulldogs leading by 2. It'll be Caruso for the faceoff. And Bulldogs get to it first. Bulldogs played over towards the near corner. Now they'll run it back out again. Pass over towards the far side of the field. They'll run it back over towards the Cardinal goal. Pass in front. And that quickly, another goal for the Bulldogs. Luke Caldwell with his second goal of the game will give the Bulldogs a 3-0 lead.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
This time it'll be Procaccini handling the faceoff for the Cardinals. And Bulldogs had it for a moment. Now Procaccini scoops it up and he'll head the other direction with it. The ball gets away. Bulldogs come up with it, and Bulldogs will run it back the other direction. Bulldogs sprinting up the middle with it. Pass towards the goal. Shot on goal, and it's another goal for the Bulldogs. This time it's Ryan Forret getting his second goal of the game.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Bulldogs come away with the ball from the faceoff. They'll advance it down the near side of the field. Pass over towards the corner. Now they'll drop back with it. And it's run over towards the goal, but Cardinals will force him behind the goal. Back out front. Couldn't get the shot off. He'll drop it behind the goal again. Here's another run out front. They'll just drop that one all the way back and set up another play. Now here the Bulldogs back on the attack. Fire it towards the goal, but a little high. That's going to bounce out of bounds. Be Bulldogs ball. Bulldogs put the ball back into play. Pass to center, shot on goal. That was going to bounce wide and out of bounds. Bulldogs ball. Now Bulldogs back in action with the ball. That's going to be taken away by the Cardinals. Good steal there by McFarland. And Claffey passes that one back over to Pacholski. Pacholski sends it over to the far side of the field, but it's going to be turned over. No, loose ball. Who knows who's going to get this one? And it's going to be McFarland again. Now Nab Well, Nab had the ball, but there's going to be a penalty call against the Cardinals, turning the ball over to the Bulldogs. Substitutions for both teams. Will be Bulldogs ball when play resumes. And Bulldogs will put the ball back into play. They'll move it over to the far side of the field. Back to center. And now we're towards the near side of the field. That one gets away. They'll have to chase it off into the corner. McFarland very aggressive on the defense there. Bulldogs put the ball back into play. Pass out front. McFarland swats that one away. It's launched up in the air. Bulldogs are going to get to it first. Tumble there on the far side of the field. I believe that's going to be Bulldogs ball.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
It's going to be Bulldogs ball on the far side of the field. Just waiting for the go-ahead from the referee. He'll take a quick count of players on the field. And there's the go sign as the Bulldogs back in action. Bulldogs will drop it back over to center. Pass forward is picked off by the Cardinals, but knocked free by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs recover the ball. Now pass over to the near side of the field. Bulldogs taking their time setting something up here. They'll trot over to center with it. And now a pass back behind the Cardinal goal. That pass is going to sail out of bounds. It's going to be Cardinals ball. Cardinals put the ball into play. Moving up the far side of the field. Nab passes that one back behind the goal to McNamara. McNamara over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez under heavy pressure. He'll send it back to McNamara.
Come on, Jake!
I'm sorry, that's over with the ball, not McNamara.
Go at him! Go at him!
Ball's taken away by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs angling across the field. Now pass over towards the near side of the field, back out again. And over towards the corner. Back out again. Now Bulldogs move the action over to the center of the field. Here's a run towards the middle. It'll be forced wide and pass the ball around behind the net once more. That shot is going to go over the goal, out of bounds. It'll be Bulldogs ball. Now Bulldogs back in action. The pass out front. Shot on goal, and it's another goal for Luke Caldwell as he scores his hat trick.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Roccassini back at it, center for the faceoff. Loose ball on the field, and Bulldogs scoop it up. Bulldogs running it up the far sideline. Now drop back and pass it. Less than a minute left in this first period. Bulldogs out at midfield with the ball. Now here's a run up the middle. Pass way behind the net. That was going to bounce out of bounds and turn the ball over to the Cardinals. Claffey retrieves the ball, and he'll put it back into play for the Cardinals. He'll pass that one over to Pachalski. Pachalski working his way forward with the ball. Now he'll pass that one up the middle. That pass is picked off by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs out front, shot on goal, and good block there by Pachalski. Ball's going to roll out of bounds. Cardinal ball. McGann puts it in play for the Cardinals. Now, Cardinals in range of the goal, but the ball's knocked free, and Bulldogs come up with it. Bulldogs pass headed for the sideline, but there's the buzzer to end the first period. And a costly period it's been for the Cardinals, who are now trailing 5-0. We'll be right back with more boys varsity lacrosse action on LTPS TV.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Now Procaccini back out at center to get the second period started. And it's going to be the Bulldogs coming away with the ball. Bulldogs trying to find a way through with it. Cardinal defense repels them. Now Bulldogs back on the attack. Shot towards the goal, and that was stopped by Pachalski. Pachalski moves it over to the near side of the field. Now back to Pachalski, and he'll play it over towards the far side of the field. That was going to bounce out of bounds. Last touch by McFarland, who was jumping to try and get that pass. It'll be Bulldogs' ball once they find it. And now Bulldogs back in action. Shot on goal, and Ryan Foret scores his third goal of the game, making him the second player on the Bulldogs team to score a hat trick.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Bulldogs win the faceoff. And here they're coming up the middle towards the Cardinal goal. Pass out front, and it's another goal for the Bulldogs. That was Foret once more to get his fourth goal of the game, making it a 7-0 lead.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Once more the face-off. This time it's Ryan Edwards for the face-off. And Cardinals come away with the ball. Krish Ayer scoops it up. He'll drop it back, however. Passes to Nab. Nab gets past a couple of defenders. They'll pass that one over to McNamara. McNamara passes back to Nab. Nab backing into the corner, trying to draw some of the defenders away from the goal. They're not falling for it, so here comes Nab on the charge. He'll run it around the goal, shot. That one does not score. Bulldogs ball. Bulldogs pass it right up the middle, and now over towards the near side of the field. Angling over towards center. That pass goes a little wild. It's going to run out of bounds. Cardinals ball. Substitutions taking place. There's a foul called on the play. And it's going to be Bulldogs with the ball. Bulldogs put the ball back into play. They'll pass it around behind the Cardinal net. Now out front to center. And another errant pass bounces out of bounds. This time it'll be Cardinals ball. Cardinals pass it over to Pachalski. Pachalski sends it way up the field. Nab comes away with it. Has to fight his way through a couple of defenders. Now he'll pass that one over. Now Gonzalez with the ball. Gonzalez finds McNamara. McNamara is going to run it around behind the net. That ball gets away, but there's a flag on the field. It's going to be a foul call against the Bulldogs. Cardinals put the ball back into play. Move it over towards the far side of the field. And they'll take it around behind the net. They'll drop it way back. Edwards plays it over to Procacini. Procacini shot on goal. That was going to be tipped wide. Shehab was able to kick that one wide. Over brings the ball into play behind the goal. Passes to Gonzalez, back to Over, and back to Gonzalez. Back to Over. And back to Gonzalez. Shot on goal. Nab had a good position there, just couldn't get it past the goalie. Another good attempt there by the Cardinals as Gonzalez was in good position. That shot's going to be stopped by Shehab. He'll send it down the other direction of the field. Pass off to the side. They'll run it. No, they're going to drop back out front. Shot on goal. And Ryan Foret puts it in for his 5th goal of the game to make it an 8-0 lead.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Procacini for the faceoff. Loose ball. That's going to be scooped up by the Bulldogs.
Good job, Hopewell.
Bulldogs pass it over to the near side of the field. And they'll trot back towards center. Tried a little fake there. The Cardinals didn't fall for it. Now pass around behind the net. They'll run it back out front again. Unable to get the shot off, they'll pass to center. Pass back behind the net. Now Bulldogs running it around the front. Pass it back behind the net again. Now here's a run around the front. Shot. And that was stopped by Pachalski. Pachalski sends it up the middle. Loose ball on the field. And that's scooped up by the Cardinals. That's Caruso who came up with the ball.
Go!
Now Caruso in the near corner with the ball. They'll send that one to Over. Over runs it behind the net. Over taking his time with it. Couple of cutbacks. And he bowls over a defender, gets the pass off. Pass out front there is picked off, however, by Shehab. Big pass down the field for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs will drop it back and move over towards center. That pass gets away, and it's Cardinals coming the other direction with the ball. Ayer was able to steal that one. Tried to make a pass to McNamara, but Bulldog defender able to break up that play. Bulldogs played up the near sideline. Now they'll pass it over to the far side of the field. And another shot on goal will end up with another goal for the Bulldogs as Luke Caldwell gets his 4th goal of the game.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Edwards at center for the faceoff. And it's going to be the Bulldogs coming away with the ball. Pass off to the side. Now that pass gets away, and it's going to be the Cardinals coming up with it. Caruso comes up with the ball. Caruso running down the near sideline with it. He tried to make a pass over towards Knapp, but that's picked off by the Bulldogs. Now Bulldogs advancing on the near side of the field. Well, that's going to be brought to a halt as there's been a penalty called against the Cardinals. It'll be a Bulldogs ball on the near side of the field. Now Bulldogs play it over to the far side of the field to get the action moving again. Shot on goal does not score. It's going to roll out of bounds. Bulldogs ball. Bulldogs trapped in the backfield there. Now they'll move it out front. Shot on goal is high. Once again, that'll be Bulldogs ball. Bulldogs back in action once more in the near corner. Now running around behind the net, out front. They'll drop it back to center. Pass out front. And a great stop there by Pachalski as he had a man all over him with the ball. Claffey fires the ball forward for the Cardinals. That was going to be grabbed by Shehab. Now Bulldogs advancing on the Cardinal goal again. Shot on goal from way outside. That one bounces out. Ball swatted over towards the sideline, goes out of bounds. That'll be Cardinals ball.
Come on, Lurch, let's do it.
Claffey puts the ball back into play for the Cardinals. He'll send that one across the center field. That pass picked off, or at least blocked, but it's recovered by the Cardinals. McNamara comes up with the ball. He'll send it out front to Nab. That's turned over to the Bulldogs. And Bulldogs running it right up the middle. Shot on goal. And it's another goal for the Bulldogs. Once again scored by Caldwell. That gives Caldwell 5 goals.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Now with a minute 12 left in the first half, it'll be Procaccini out at center for the faceoff. And Bulldogs come away with it. Loss of footing there, turns the ball over to the Cardinals. Claffey passes that one to Nab. Nab trying to decide what to do with it. Substitutions for both teams. Now Nab gets past one defender. He'll pass that one back to McNamara. McNamara swings around behind the net. He'll come out front. Pass that one to Feynman. Feynman recovers the ball. But that pass is going to bounce out of bounds, turning the ball back over to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs back in action, but less than 15 seconds left on the clock in this first half. That's going to be a penalty called against the Cardinals. And Feynman heads over towards the bench for a quick rest. Got about 6 seconds left on the clock. And it's going to be the Bulldogs with the ball once all the paperwork's done. Bulldogs seem content to just let the clock run out. So that will do it for the first half of this game. Bulldogs leading 10-0 over the Cardinals. Stay tuned for the second half.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
For those of you just joining us, this is boys varsity lacrosse action as our Lawrence Cardinals are taking on the Hopewell Valley Bulldogs. Bulldogs have a 10-point lead and the ball as they'll move it around. Shot on goal, and that one is blocked by Pacholski. Bulldogs recover the ball. Bulldogs out in front of the goal. Didn't take the shot, however. That one's in as they fire from right in front of Pacholski's nose. That'll be the 6th goal of the game for Luke Caldwell.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Procaccini at center for the faceoff. And Bulldogs come away with the ball. Bulldogs advancing it down the near side of the field. Pass into the corner. They'll jog it back out again. Now Bulldogs running around behind the goal. I'll pass it back along the far sideline. Now moving over toward center. And pass around behind the net again. Back out front. Bulldogs unable to penetrate on that drive. They'll drop back and reset. Now here comes another drive in. Pass. Shot on goal. That one is deflected. But Bulldogs get to it first. Whistle on the play. That's going to be Bulldogs ball. Now Bulldogs back in action. Pass over toward the far side of the field. And right back to center. Now pass to the near side of the field and back over to the far side of the field. Shot on goal. That one's going to go wide. Eventually goes out of bounds. Cardinals ball. McFarland puts the ball back into play. They'll pass that one to Claffey. Claffey runs it up the middle a little bit. Now he'll send it over to Pachalski. Pachalski coming out of the goal quite a bit. He'll pass it to Nab. Nab pauses to wait for the rest of the team on the far side of the field. And he'll jog it around behind the net. Nab taking his time trying to set something up here. And he'll run it out front. Shot on goal. And Alex Nab scores the first Cardinal goal of the game. Give the Cardinals a 1-11 score.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Edwards at center for the faceoff. Bulldogs come up with the ball. It's knocked free and recovered by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs drop back to reset. Bulldogs taking their time with it. Now run up the middle and pass in the end area. Now back around behind the net and out front. Bulldog shot is over top the goal, but it's treated as a pass. Bulldogs still in possession of the ball. They'll send that one out front. Bulldogs have yet to take a run at the goal. There's a shot from way out, and it's another goal for the Bulldogs. This time Colin McCullough able to score.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Procaccini back out at center for the faceoff. Ball goes scooting away. It'll be scooped up by Hopewell Valley Bulldogs. Bulldogs moving down the near side of the field with the ball. Now cut over towards center and drop it back. Bulldogs content to take their time with this one. Now here's a drive up the far side. Shot on goal. That one's off the side of the goal. And Pachalski's going to scoop that one up. He'll pass that one over to McGann. McGann sends it forward to McFarland. McFarland's running it up the middle of the field. Now he'll pass that one to Nab. Nab over, who took the shot, but it was stopped by Shehab. Now Bulldogs running it up the far side of the field. Bulldogs still not making much of an effort to get towards that Cardinal goal. Slowing the pace way down. Now here's a run towards the middle. Pass off to the near corner. Back out front to center. That one gets away out in front of the Cardinal goal. Claffey scoops it up. He'll play it over towards McCann. Now McCann running it forward on the near side. He'll pass it forward. That's Edwards with the ball. Edwards crosses over to center. Waiting for a little support. Now Edwards running it up the far side. He'll cut over behind the goal. Pass to Gonzalez. That pass goes out of bounds. He's going to turn the ball over to the Bulldogs. Now Bulldogs back in action. They'll move it down the near side of the field. Whistle on that play. It's a timeout called. So with the Bulldogs leading 12-1, we'll take a quick timeout and get right back into boys varsity lacrosse action.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Now the Bulldogs will put the ball back into play, running it up the near side of the field. Now they'll drop back and reset. Here comes the Bulldog drive. Pass to the near side of the field. They'll run it back to center. Now pass it over to the far side, but that one gets away. It's going to sail out of bounds and turn the ball back over to the Cardinals. Claffey puts the ball into play for the Cardinals. They'll bring it up the middle, and now a big long pass. That was fielded by Capone. Capone to Procasini. Now to McNamara behind the net. McNamara runs it around the net. Unable to angle in towards the goal. Now pass it to Nab. Nab, the lone goal scorer for the Cardinals so far today. Nab out front, shot on goal. That one bounces wide. And now Bulldogs with the ball. Bulldogs pass it forward. They'll drop it back. That one gets away. And that's going to turn the ball over to the Cardinals. Fabian drops back with the ball. Now, cutting around the side behind the goal. That's Nab. Pass out front to Over. Over looking for a little support. Runs it over to the far side of the field, now cutting back. Drops that one back to Feynman. Now McNamara passes to Nab. Nab with a shot. That one bounces over the goal. It'll be Cardinals ball. Now Cardinals put the ball back into play. They'll run it behind the goal and pass it back out front. Shot on goal. That one does not connect. Cardinals ball once more. Now Cardinals back in action with the ball behind the goal. Shot on goal. That one is rejected by Shehab, sorry. Now, Bulldogs send it the other direction. Bulldogs on the near side of the field with the ball. 1 minute left in this period. Bulldogs starting to move in. Get past one defender, shot on goal. That one is blocked. Second block and a stop. As Pacholski was quite busy there, but he kept it out of the net. Pacholski runs it all the way up to midfield before passing it. Out of bounds on the Bulldogs. That'll be Cardinals ball. Nab thought about passing it, but he hung on to it. Now Nab cutting left. He'll circle around the defender's shot on goal, and that one is rejected by Shehab. Cardinals put the ball back into play. Pass to Over, gets away. And there's the buzzer to end the third period with your score. Hopewell Valley Bulldogs 12, Lawrence Cardinals 1. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter of this game.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Now we're down to the final 12 minutes of this game. There's the face-off. Ball squirts away, and Bulldogs will scoop it up. Bulldogs headed up the far side of the field into Cardinal territory. Now they'll cross over toward the near side. Now Bulldogs back in action with the ball. Content to pass it around a little bit. Now moving forward towards the Cardinal goal. Pass around behind the goal, back around front, shot on goal. And that's going to be another goal for the Bulldogs. Luke Caldwell scores his 7th goal of the game.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Face-off time once more. Loose ball on the field, and Bulldogs get to it first. Bulldogs running down the far side of the field. Now angling in towards the Cardinals' goal. They'll cut around behind the goal. Pass behind the goal. And pass back out front again. Ball over on the far side of the field. Substitution taking place. And now the Bulldogs are running around behind the net. Actually jogging it around behind the net quite slowly. Down to a walk. Gonzalez there to challenge. But play's been whistled to a stop. Not sure why that happened. But it's going to be Cardinals ball. Gonzalez plays that one back to Pacholski. Pacholski launches it up the field. And that one's grabbed up by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs drop it back a little. Now running around the far side of the field. They'll circle around behind the net. Pass out front does not go as planned. Loose ball just barely kept in bounds by the Bulldogs. Claffey got a piece of that one as it went by. And now he'll come away with the ball. Claffey sends it up to midfield. Ayer having a little trouble hanging on to it there. And here come the Bulldogs. Bulldogs once more on the far side of the field with the ball. They'll drop it back and reset. Across the center. Now here comes the next attack. Pass over to the near side of the field and back behind the net. Over to the far side of the field. Shot on goal, and that one is blocked by Pacholski. Pacholski is going to pass that one up to Claffey. Claffey running it up the near side of the field. Yeah, pass it forward. Now McNamara trying to find a way in with the ball. McNamara circles around behind the net. Shot on goal. That one is blocked by Shehab. Bulldogs with the ball. They'll send it up the middle of the field. Bulldogs now running it up the middle. Shot goes wide. It'll be Bulldogs' ball. Bulldogs pass the ball back on the near sideline. Cardinals not willing to overcommit. Now shot on goal, and that's going to be the 14th goal of the game as Colin McCullough scores his second goal.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
So with 6.5 minutes left in the game, we've got a couple of major changes out on the field. Both teams substituting goalies. At the Lawrence end of the field, coming in for Kyle Pacholski is Joe Feynman. And at the Bulldogs end of the field, coming in for Owen Shehab is Dean Meisner. Now Parkasini with the faceoff. It's going to be the Bulldogs coming away with the ball, and they'll head straight down the middle towards the Cardinal goal. Ball's turned over to the Cardinals, knocked free, but Cardinals recover, well, trying to recover. There we go, as McFarland scoops it up. It's going to be out of bounds on the Cardinals. Bulldogs ball. Bulldogs back in action. Bulldogs will drop it back on the near side of the field. Now slowly walking over towards the center. Now, well, fake to drive. This time going for it up the middle. Pass back behind the net. Now run it back out front. And pass way over towards the far sideline. Now here's another drive in towards the goal. That one's swatted up in the air, and Feynman grabs it. Feynman gets the pass off to Claffey. Claffey sends it over towards the far side of the field. And now it's Caruso coming up the middle with the ball. He's going to get run over by the defense. Whistle on the play. And Cardinals put the ball back into play in the near corner. McNamara trying to break through. He'll run it back behind the net a second time. Can't get the shot off, and that pass goes wide. It's going to shoot way up the field where it's scooped up by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs cross the center, now running down the middle. Pass up ahead, shot on goal. Feynman stops that one. He'll come out of the net. But he doesn't stop that one, and it's going to be another goal for Colin McCullough, as that's his third goal of the game as he scores a hat trick.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Edwards at center for the faceoff. Bulldogs come away with it. I'll pass it over to the near side of the field and drop it back to set up a play. Substitutions taking place as well. Now Bulldogs move the action a little bit over towards the far side. And back again. Now once more over towards the far side of the field. This time it's going to be a run up the far side, pass back behind the net. We're running around behind the net and now bringing it out on the near side of the field. Back over to center. Loose ball. It's going to be recovered by the Bulldogs. Edwards providing pressure. But Bulldogs are running around behind the net. This time they'll pass out front, shot on goal. That one does not get through, and Feynman drops the net on it. Cardinals on the move with the ball now on the far side of the field. Spin move to get past a couple of defenders, shot on goal, and that's going to be the first stop of the game for Meisner. Bulldogs running it up the near side of the field. Pass to the far side of the field. Shot on goal, and it's another goal for Colin McCullough. Makes it a 16-1 game with less than a minute left on the clock in this game. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Procasini back out at center for the faceoff. Ball scooped up by Bulldogs. Bulldogs streaking down the far side of the field. Now dropping back towards the far sideline. Challenged by Cassoni. Bulldogs will cross the ball and let the clock run out to 0 for a 16-1 victory. Thank you to Leandro Pascal for working camera for this event, and thank you all for watching. Be sure to tune in again next time for more exciting Cardinal sports action on LTPS TV.